I have basically my face done. I just am going to do my eyes. I'm doing the halo eye attempt that I posted on Instagram a week or two ago. I had a very sweet Instagram follower, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. I don't know if she follows me on YouTube too, but I'll let her know that it's here and she can come and see it here. So hi, Kelly. It's this look. I don't know if you can tell. So I'll put a picture of the look here so that you can see what it was. And that's what I'm going for. Hopefully in the intro you can see that I've accomplished that. So let's go ahead and jump in. And I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit and hope that my camera stays focused. Okay, so what I have right next to my mirror in my bathroom is my Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. So I'm just going to use that here. And the thing that you don't realize, that I didn't realize about watching tutorials on YouTube, is that you don't normally do it in your bathroom, the tutorials, because there's nowhere to put your camera far enough away from you to be able to get anything that's going on. So whenever you see one of these tutorials, they're in a foreign space, or maybe they're not, maybe they have something they're very familiar and they have a place set up. I don't. I'm in a foreign space from where I normally do my makeup, and I have to use a mirror that is handheld, which is awkward, and I'm not exceedingly proficient at this, so I'm doing my best. I will try. Okay, so, oh, something in my eye. Okay, so for me, the look that I'm doing, I started out with my Project Pan blush, which is my Lorac. It's in Velvet Rope. You'd think I'd know that by now, but it's a beautiful color, and I really like it for my crease color, that transition color between the lid and below the brow. And so I'm just going to go ahead and pop that in, and with any luck, you will still be able to see what I'm doing, even though I'm looking slightly to the side. So I'm going to check the viewfinder a little bit to make sure I'm in frame. Here, there, now you can see what I'm doing. Oh, if I hold it in front of me like this, maybe you can't see the mirror, but you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put it in the crease. A little bit high up because I have hooded eyes, so I need to put it higher than where my eyelid actually opens, because my eyelid disappears when it opens. You guys are a little bit above me. The camera here is a little bit above me, so I don't know if you can tell, but when I open my eyes, my mobile lid completely disappears. So I go a little bit high with my transition color so that it peeks out over the top. There, see? So you can still see it. Let's build that up. As I'm going, I kind of flick up towards the end of my eyebrow here, so it gives it a more elongated shape and kind of lifts the edge of my eye, because I like that shape. Okay, so I think we've got that down pretty well. Actually, I'm going to also put it in the outer corner of my eye. And the inner corner. Okay, so we've got that down pretty well, that kind of base for it, so that everything else can transition on top. And we're going to move on to the Nude Tude palette, because this is the one that I used in my look. So I'm going to focus mostly on using Sexy, and then I'll come in on top when I'm going to cut the crease, try to cut the crease. And when I do that, I'm going to be using Standoffish, but also in the transition area, I may add a little bit of Sultry as well. We'll kind of see how it goes, see what we're doing here. It may darken it up with Sleek. So that's the plan. Let's see what happens. So this palette does have a mirror, so I'm going to try using that mirror. We'll see how it works. This one is Sultry. That first brush I used was a Morphe M513. Now I'm using a BMX 430 crease brush. This is from Moda Pro. I'm just really concentrating this on the outer portion, teeny bit in the crease, and then that inner portion as well. Just kind of deepening that all up. It doesn't really matter that it gets on the lid because we're going to cut the crease, but I'm a beginner, so I'm doing it the way that I can figure out. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a little bit more dense brush to try and really pack on the color. I'm going to use my Real Techniques shading brush, and I'm going to grab Sexy. Again, really focusing on that inner and outer corner and just slightly in the middle, but we can deepen that up again later if we need to. I'm going to go ahead and take it a little bit more intensely across the top because I realize that with cutting the crease, it's going to go up a little bit higher. So you'll see what I mean in just a second. Now I'm going to come back in with that original brush. I'm not going to add any more product, and I'm just going to blend across the top. My skin generally turns a little bit pink as I go, so I have to wait for things to kind of calm down to see if I blended too far, and I just fix it later. All right, so now I'm going to cut the crease, and for that I'm going to use this brush, which is my Party Queen makeup brush, just a concealer brush, and I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand is the color that I'm using. Now, I'm just gonna take a little bit with my brush and then I'll put it on my eye. And I've heard that you put it down here and then you look up, but it doesn't really do much for me because of my hooded eyes. And I really have to tilt so that my creases go away so I can get the concealer all the way in there. And then on the outside, you just kind of try to fade it a little bit, at least I do. I'm going to try and make sure those are basically even. I think I got it up a little bit higher on this eye, but c'est la vie. Like I said, this is only the second time I've done this, but I really liked the way that it turned out. I'm just playing and figuring it out. So this is what I did. If you have a better way, do share. And if you want to try it, let me see. I would love to see how yours turned out. Now I'm going to go in with Standoffish and just fill that in. I'm going to use my Morphe M408 to pack that color on. I think that's fairly even. Now I'm going to go back in with my shading brush from Real Techniques and just kind of, I don't need to add more product just yet. I'm going to see how I can do to blend the edges a little bit. Do this other side before I add more product on there. I am going to add a little bit more though. These shadows can be quite dusty, so if you tap off a little bit before you put it on your eye, then it minimizes fallout. Now with that there, I'm going to again take my original brush with the blush without adding any additional product and go through and blend a little bit again. It just gives a really nice dimension to the eyes. And on the outer corner, I'm going to add a little bit, like I talked about earlier, I'm going to put some of that sleek in there just to deepen out the outer corner a little bit. Tap off the excess. Keeping in mind that line from the corner of the eye to the bottom of the eyebrow to kind of keep that cat eye shape, that lifted shape. And then grab that first brush again and blend. Okay, now for the under eye portion, I suppose I could put a little bit of concealer under my eyes. I didn't bring my regular brush for doing that, so I'm going to kind of just use my fingers. So pardon me. And this is more of a highlighting shade. So it's going to be a little extra bright, but that's okay. I find that there is a magical moment when you're patting and patting and patting and you think nothing is happening, it's not blending in, and then suddenly it's beautifully blended in. So you just have to keep going more than you think you should have to. And just keep patting. I like to look up. Again, smooth out the wrinkles under there so that I can get full coverage. I feel like this eye's a little bit brighter than the other eye, but that's okay. All right, this is the e.l.f. Professional Defining Eye Brush. That's what I use to pack on sleek on that outer corner. And this one is the e.l.f. Clear Handle 202 is what it says. It's just a pencil smudge brush. So we're going to kind of mimic on the bottom what we've done on the top. So we're going to start with, I'm going to actually start with sleek. And tap that off and then just go right as close as I can to the lash line. Sorry if you can't see it, I'm trying. Okay, now I'm going to take the more burgundy shade, Sexy. And I'm not going all the way to the inner corner just because I feel like it would really close off my eyes. But I am now going to grab Sultry and blend that out underneath as well. I usually don't take the time to actually line with a liquid liner. You can do that and it's beautiful, but I also just use an angled brush to do lining. This is the MAC 265, I believe it is. It's kind of rubbed off, so it's hard to tell. But I think that's what it is. So I'm going to take Serious, the black one here, and just line with the brush on top. I just follow the line that I've already created here at the outside. And then gently kind of go in. And of course that doesn't create a precise line, but I'm not really worried about that. You may notice that there's a lot of fallout. Let me grab a brush to wipe that away. Well, that did not work out at all the way I thought I had hoped. So I just wiped it away with some cleanser, and now I'm going to reapply the concealer under my eyes, but in a color that is a little less bright. This is my Maybelline Age Rewind from my project pan. This is in light, the color light. That color, Serious, is definitely the worst offender as far as fallout with these shadows. The other ones are not as bad, though there is some fallout, but that one, Serious, really, really has a lot of fallout. And even if you top off your brush, I find that it still falls down. But that's the halo eye, excuse me, the cut crease done. And now I forgot my mascara, so let me go get that. And actually, before I do my mascara, I'm going to use this little tiny Real Techniques accent brush to grab a little bit from my NYX contour palette. And I'm just going to use this kind of a cream color. I want to use that to redefine kind of my eyebrow area underneath the eyebrow. And just take it right there and just make a little room again. And then to highlight, I'm just going to take the color Stubborn and put that right underneath my eyebrow. Give it just a little bit of lift. Nothing too crazy. And then I'm also going to use a mix of Sassy and Stubborn to put in my inner corner. Poke myself in the eye. Lovely. That one got a little more exuberant than I thought I was going to. But I'm going to blend it up just a little bit and get it right there. Okay. Now I feel like I'm ready for my mascara. And right now I'm using the Bad Gal Bang mascara by Benefit. And I do really like it. It's a very wet formula, so if you don't like a wet formula, then this won't be for you. And I have stabbed myself at least twice with this, but that's probably due to user error and not so much the fact that it's dangerous or stabby. That's just my lack of ability. So don't be afraid. It's a lovely mascara, and if you like a wet formula, it's really nice. Okay, let's see if you can see me do this. Okay, we're back. Sorry, my camera cut out. I finished putting on my mascara and I added the Maybelline Master Skinny Precise eyeliner just to the waterline on my top lashes. And that's going to be it for this look. I hope that you enjoyed spending this time with me and kind of fumbling through figuring out a cut crease. Like I said, this was my second time doing it, so thank you for joining me. I hope it was helpful and that it gives you some idea of how to do this or what not to do, if that be the case. And I hope you'll join me again. Go ahead and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to join me again. Actually, just hit the subscribe button. It's just a great idea. You should do it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye.